Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Gemini in August 2020. What's going on, Gemini? How are you guys doing? I hope that you are doing well. All right, friends, welcome to August. Hope everything in your life is going swimmingly. Hope you are happy, safe, and healthy at this time. Still a pandemic, so be careful out there, all right? All right, Gemini, let's get into it. Any general announcements? Yes, you will see your girl live here on the channel on August 8th at 7 p.m. doing Leo's birthday reading. If you want to stop by, hang out in the chat, say hi, feel free to do so. If you just want to have a little look-see and spy on a Leo, you're welcome to do that as well. But I just want to give everybody a heads up in case, they're unsure of why I'm going live at that time. Shout out to my subscriber Vanessa. She made me this lovely bracelet while she was on a vacation. So just to, because I like to show love to people who show love to me. So Vanessa's a super cool person. She's been a subscriber of mine for a long time, a client of mine for a long time, and is fast becoming a very good friend. So I appreciate her ever so much, and I needed to shout her out to all you people because, you share love, you get love, right? Whatever you put out, it's going to come back to you eventually, yeah? Anything else here in the opening? I don't think so. No major holidays going on, but if you are going on vacation, this is a big time for vacations in America. However, we're kind of on the naughty list, so we're not really going many places. But Gemini, if you are actually going on vacation, share down there in the comments where you're going, middle of the summertime. Maybe you're having, a family reunion or something. Who knows? Anyway, let's get into the regular spiel. Gemini, I've shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there. Going to shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. Timestamp is in the description box if you want to jump ahead. Also down there, you'll find the information you need if you want to purchase a personal reading with me. If you have questions before you place an order, just go ahead and email me at the same address and I'll answer you as soon as I can. Also see the link to my Instagram down there, EmpathicFire Tarot. That is the name, boop, right there, in case you missed it in the opening. And right now I'm pulling oracle cards over there a couple times a week, doing some pick a card stuff over there that I've enjoyed doing. I don't know if other people have enjoyed it, but I've enjoyed doing it. So if you're interested in seeing me do that type of work, just go ahead and give me a follow over there, okay? Anything else? No ma'am, no sir. So let's get into it, please. Let's see the outcome, excuse me, for Gemini in August 22. August 22? Okay, so some of you, there might be something significant about August 22nd, or there might be something significant about the number 22 to you. But regardless, what I meant to say was, please show me the outcome for Gemini in August 2020. August 2020, outcome for Gemini, please show me. They made me stop and take that. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. All right, let's flip what came face down so we can see your whole picture. Oh no, that's one of those cards that is kind of triggery with its imagery. But we'll address it when we get there. And there you go. That also. So many major arcana. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, let's get into it. Please show me where Gemini is in August 2020. Gemini, August 2020, please show me. One more time, please show me. It's like two places, so please, one place for Gemini, please. All right, there we go. We got there. So, Gemini, coming into your reading, you come in with the energy of the Hierophant. Major arcana for tarot. For tarot, I can't talk today, and I know it's not a Mercury retrograde, so it's something with me. Anyway, oh, I might not. I usually wear like one of my stones over here that helps with the throat chakra, but I'm not wearing it today, so maybe that's it. Anyway, major arcana for Taurus. So some of you could be dealing with a Taurus, but you don't have to be. There's like a rule or rules, structure, expectations, parameters, general beaten paths in your vicinity, whatever they are, in whatever realm we're talking. I don't know exactly where yet. And there's this alternative way, or an unrecognized way, or unrecognizable. Interesting. There's something about what's tried and true, and you're like not interested in what's tried and true. Or something is tried and true, and you're still like about it. Like, that works for you, or that works for them over there, but that doesn't work for me. Or maybe we should try this other thing. And there's just like, there's this, I feel you, and I'm going to address it as you, but it's a general, so flip your roles the way you need to. If this applies the other way around, go ahead and do so. But I feel like what is tried and true is like being resisted, rebelled against, rejected, or it in the most compromising terms, wanting to be renegotiated. In other cases, in some of your cases, there's no wanting to negotiate, there's no wanting to come to a new understanding. It's like a full-on, no, I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that. And the Hierophant as an archetype in tarot asks, almost demands of us, whoever is receiving the message, to be down with it. Here's the rule. Here's the rhyme and the reason. Here's the playbook. And you can only operate within this playbook. There's not a lot of wiggle room when we talk about the Hierophant. And I think you, Gemini, are like, but I need wiggle room. That's where I shine. I want wiggle room. That's where I'm going to do my best work. I need wiggle room because that's freedom. Okay. Interesting. Now, that's very, and I say it's interesting because look at who's most prominently featured on this card, the Dalai Lama, right? And as a religious figure, as a spiritual figure, he himself and what he, and the doctrine and the tenets that he represents isn't really known to be about removing freedom or withholding freedom from people, or in another way, putting restrictions on folks, right? But I get the sense from you, Gemini, what you're reading in the situation, and again, that's more traditional or more linked to the traditional understandings of the Hierophant. No. It usually operates on some type of restriction or some type of structure, right? So traditionally, the Hierophant talks about religion, yes, can also talk about governments, schools, media, big bodies of power or influence in our world that can kind of, again, put parameters around people or situations and circumstances. It can instruct or sort of deliver a set of rules and regulations, expectations, right? And I get the sense that coming from you or someone in this situation, I'm not sure if it is you, but I'm going to address it as such, there's like a no, we don't want that, no, get it out of here, okay? That can speak so many ways to current events in not only America, but across the globe. There's a lot of resistance against the old guard, so to speak, right? And that kind of makes sense. As an archetype in tarot and kind of as an archetype in astrology, Hierophant and Taurus energy tends to be traditional. Tends to be, it worked yesterday, it's working today, and it's going to work from tomorrow and here on to the end of time. And it's just like, that's not how life works. But, it works for a while, or that sentiment works for a while. But eventually everything changes, everything evolves, everything grows and expands, yes? Growth and expansion, not usually what the Hierophant's all about, despite the modern depiction of what's on that card, okay? And maybe that's the point. This tarot deck is called the New Era Elements Tarot, where they give, certain new interpretations of the card. And I didn't read the book, so I don't know if there is a technical sort of redefinition of what the Hierophant is, but there might be a point in putting the Dalai Lama there, because, it's not the Pope, right? It's not a religious figure from certain faiths. It's the Dalai Lama. And the Dalai Lama or an approximation for reasons of liable or whatever. There might not be an actual, this might not be meant to be as a recreation of the Dalai Lama. But anyway, what is my point? So my point is, I think you're shrugging off tradition. You're not interested in doing it the way other people did it. You're not interested in following the crowd, which makes sense, Gemini has that tendency about them to march to the beat of their own drum. So I commend you on that thus far. We'll see what else happens. And not that you need my approval or anything, but I'm just, I'm being real with you guys. Because I like that. That's something that I support. This is that energy is just like, nah, I got to do it my way. And so far that's okay. So let's see what else happens. So you're standing on your principles, your own personal morals. Strength card right beneath your starting position. Major arcana for Leo. Some of you could be dealing with a Leo, but you don't have to be. But I feel like you're making a particular stance, and you're being very strong in what you're declaring about yourself, about your position, about your beliefs, about whatever. I'm really feeling this is like about, here's the complication. There it is. Some of you, and it might just be down to like specific conversations, but I feel some of the ground that you're standing on or positions that you're taking, opinions that you're sharing, is simply to be controversial or contrary. That's possibly down to specific conversations, maybe not even your overall stance. But if you're in a dialogue with a group of people, or you're talking about the same subject matter with different friends or different family members or whatever, but there's like that one person who's kind of thick-headed or kind of staunch, right? Traditional, right? You might say things that are a little off color, a little bit divisive or insightful in order to get a rise out of them. Specifically, just saying, okay, you might be poking the bear. Some of you, not all of you, and not in all cases. Now, but regardless, the way in which you're doing it is very much, I don't want to say it's like egotistical, like I know what I'm saying. It's more of like I know myself. I know what I believe. Thank you. So, they're like, yeah, they're warning me. So you feel very self-possessed. You feel as if you understand your own mind. And other people might call that into question, and you're kind of like, nah, I know what I'm talking about, or I know my beliefs, or I know where I'm getting my knowledge from. Like, I trust myself. That's kind of what happens with the strength card, or certain elements of the strength card, is that you can trust yourself too much. You can drink your own Kool-Aid, okay? So I'm warning some of you. And I'm not warning you like there will be repercussions. I'm just warning you. Anybody can convince themselves that they're right? How many, what's the point of a court case? No matter what the legal ramifications are or what the case is. The point of any court decision or trial is that both sides think they're correct. Did you murder that person? No, I did not. And the prosecution is like, yes, you did. And you're like, I didn't do it. And I'm not saying you're a murderer, but I'm just saying, you will have people go through an entire trial trying to defend themselves, knowing they committed a crime, no matter how heinous or disgusting or whatever. So that's where this caution is coming through. And I've been cautioning Geminis on my channel with this energy for months, that you might be a little too self-assured to the point where you could be stepping on toes, you could be burning bridges, you could be out of touch with what is real or what is objective. Let's say it that way. What is objective, right? You might lose your vision because, okay, another way to put this, or another way for me to kind of make this point, is tarot is not all, sunshine and rainbows. There are good and bad aspects of every card that's in this deck, and all other tarot decks, or even oracle decks sometimes. But more specifically to tarot, the negative side, or the less desirable side of the strength card, is ego and pride, which is associated with Leo, of course, right? And being so stubborn and so forceful that you become dangerous, dare I say? And I say dangerous because of what's depicted here, this animal, a lion. A lion, many of us have seen so many nature videos of lions and tigers and all that, right? They can be docile, they can be playful, this little cub and that grown male lion, right? They can be playful. But the moment that the male lion is done being playful, he can be very ferocious and he can be very scary. And if, you or I were to come across his path, he probably would kill us. Oh, there goes a nice piece of meat. Let me go kill it, because that's what I do, right? So, and I know that would serve like, the primal instincts and the survival instincts of this animal. But again, there goes that animal seeing a living creature going, I'm going to kill it because it's going to feed me. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm allowed to do. But to how humans would report that on the news is a terrible loss today as Joe Schmo was mauled, viciously by an adult male lion. Like, from our perspective, it's terrible. From the lion's perspective, it was lunch. Do you see what I mean? So there's something in your vicinity. It has been going on in Gemini's energy for a long time that I've been doing your guys' reading. Several months. The vast majority of 2020, I believe. Actions taken. Behaviors exhibited. Thoughts and opinions shared. And there's a certain disregard or a detachment from other perspectives. And I told you, on the surface, that's good. But too much of anything is not right. Right? So if you are constantly hammering conversations with coworkers, with friends, with families, whatever, this is right, this is the truth, this is what I believe, this is right, this is right, this is right, and you're not having actual constructive dialogue, or you're not open to counterpoints, or and that's the thing, I get the sense that there is like a rebuff, like an immediate rebuff. Like someone might come to you and say, hey Gemini, based on our discussion the other day, I went and looked some things up and I considered your point. And then I also thought, well, how about this? And the moment someone says, well, how about this? You shut them down. Like, no, I already told you. I already told you 2 days ago. I already told you my point on this, and I'm not moving. And that can go for any side of the argument, okay? Whether you're on this side or whether you're on this side, okay? There's no... Anyway, I hope you get what I'm saying. So, be careful. Be careful, because I feel you insist. I feel that you or someone is insisting that their way or their idea is the best idea, their opinion is the best opinion, and it might not be so. And the irony is, like I said, for some of you, it's simply to be contrary. It's simply to immediately be in conflict with the other side, or this side that you view to be stuck or staunch or somehow rigid. So that's a dicey word to use, but I'm going to use it. There might be some type of radical element in your energy, which is kind of your bag a little bit, just a little bit, okay? Because Gemini, air sign, mutable, okay? So air, mutable. Mercury is not radical, but it is free thinking. It is communicative. It is boom, 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 boom. It is changeable, right? So there is that element of you that is pushing the envelope, pushing this, pushing that, just to see how far you can get away with it. Now, I keep coming back to this idea of like being on trial or, you know, being mauled by a lion. So I hope it's not to the point of like you're toying like with people's lives. Like, I wonder what happens if I apply electricity directly to a human body and you go out and you like kidnap somebody. Like, I hope you're not doing like some crazy shit. Most likely you're not. But I'm just saying. All right. So what else happens? Jesus. Oh my God. I'm like, what? I swear, when I'm talking, I'm not looking at the deck, or I'm not looking down here. I swear to God. So I'm like, why am I seeing this? Where's that coming from? I see this energy right here. My gosh. Oh. I don't know if we're going there yet, but they're like, boom. And I'm like, oh, that's some strong imagery. So, but let's see what happens next with Gemini. Jeez. Yeah. I think you're presenting certainty when maybe there is no certainty. Yeah. Yeah. You present, or someone is. If it's not you, you know, again, flip it around, but there's some presentation of certainty when there absolutely is none. The Moon card. Major Arcana for Pisces. Could be dealing with a Pisces, but you don't have to be. Secrets, deception. Maybe not deception. Illusion. There's slight difference in that. Illusion. Okay? I think a magician, like a magician that's on stage, not a magician from the tarot deck, but a magician that's on stage is in the business of delusions. I feel like deception is like, I'm trying to pull one over on your head and take advantage of you, where an illusion can be, you know, like a magician, entertaining, or something for fun, or something that's done but not with malice intent. So I'm making a slight distinction there. And again, you know, take everything I say with a grain of salt and reinterpret for yourselves. But anyway, Moon, secrecy, illusions, what's done in the dark eventually comes to light. And I feel there's like a shamefulness here. Embarrassment. Or fear. Thank you. Fear. Fear, shame, embarrassment, things like that. Keeping those things at bay. There might be a lack of admission. Right? I could see that. Okay. Not to say this is you or this is all Geminis. I'm not trying to make a generalization here. But I get the sense that somebody kind of is like committed to something that they said or did back then. So to renege, to retract, to restate, to not apologize, but admit that maybe you did something wrong or said something wrong or had the wrong position is like not available. And to further complicate it, I can trace this back to both the Hierophant and the Strength card. If you see yourself in either of these positions, that means that you're susceptible to this energy, and the other person or the other side is susceptible to this energy as well. So if this was a disagreement between two colleagues, between two family members, between, you know, a couple, it doesn't matter. Both sides have a hand or have a piece of this. I'm not going to not like I'm not going to go back down. I'm not going to admit that I think I could be wrong about this. I'm not going to admit that there's certain uncertainty from my side. I'm not going to admit that I don't have all the facts and the figures, or that I'm hiding something, right? Someone may have come out and made big, bold statements or made certain declarations or certain demands, and somebody said, no, I'm not doing that, or no, that doesn't make sense. And then it could be on this person, the Hierophant energy, like, oh, they missed a detail in the contract. Like, this could be like about like union representation or union negotiations at your job or something like that. And somebody may have said something or unclearly stated something in official documents, but they're not going to go back and say, oh, I made this mistake and that has caused this tension between us and the workers that we're, or excuse me, and the company that we're doing these negotiations with. And it's like, prideful. Again, there's no reason to be so stubborn, but these are two cards of stubborn energy. Taurus energy here, Leo energy here. Both are fixed sign energy. So there's innate stubbornness when we talk about fixed signs. All of them, all four. Okay? Varying degrees or in different manifestations or ways of displaying it, but it's there. So there's the foul up or the complication is deepened because of the moon. The moon itself is a deep, complex energy, 12th house energy, Piscean energy. Very, very convoluted, murky, never clear. It's like going deep. Like if suddenly swamp waters, like if suddenly the swamps of Louisiana were as deep as the Atlantic Ocean, you ain't finding out no new life anytime soon, because that water is too murky. It's deep and murky. You will not find the truth, or the truth will slowly be revealed in time, because that's the thing about the moon also. It's in cycles, right? Moon cycles. So maybe whatever you're looking for, whatever truth you're looking for, or whatever truth you're withholding could be sort of at the mercy of a moon cycle. But that's for those where, you kind of vibe on that energy anyway. Regardless, I feel the biggest barrier here is that people are wanting to stick to the script or stick to the script that they have already submitted. I've already said this, I'm not taking it back. Prideful, kind of childish, or if not childish, immature. Immature. Now, what else happens? Yes. So I feel, yeah. You've got the Five of Earth, aka the Five of Pentacles. Show you this card in the upright. And fair warning, it's kind of triggering if you're sensitive to how animals are depicted. Five of Earth. The card says torment, yeah? But it's in reverse. It feels like someone feels like admitting the truth or owning up to mistakes or owning up to wanting to be divisive or wanting to be contrary for the sake of being contrary, or again, like pushing buttons for the sake of pushing buttons, as an exploratory thing, as a how much can you take. Again, look at what this is depicting. No, again, like this is an animal that's being experimented on, right? That's captured, that's in the control or at the mercy of another being. A human, most likely, if not most definitely, right? They're like, it could be aliens. Thanks, whatever guide that was. It could be aliens. But anyway, for our purposes here, this poor little monkey is at the mercy of humans. But anyway, what's my point? Oh, yes. There's something about if I go back on my word, go back and admit a mistake, admit that I'm just, I'm just instigating or stirring the pot, would put me under someone's control, which would be a form of torment. And more traditionally speaking, the Five of Pentacles talks about feeling bankrupt, feeling out in the cold, feeling you have no reprieve, you have no place of sanctuary, you are adrift, cast out, something like that, rejected. It's a sense of poverty or not enough. And given this modern depiction, not enough freedom, not enough room to roam, not enough room to make your own decisions. This creature can't do anything. That creature might want to be running around wherever it is, want that damn contraption off of its head, want that thing. It's like, it's a strange, this is, okay, listen, I'm not an expert, but this is like, I feel like an emotional mental disturbance. I'm not trying to call, again, not a doctor, not throwing shade, anything. I feel there's a complexity here within the emotional space, within the mental space, that is beyond my expertise, beyond me being able to give a clear-cut message. I just know that someone is very consciously acting, behaving, speaking in order to avoid something. And the thing that they're trying to avoid in their mind might not be reality. Okay, so maybe that's it. I did say that. I alluded to it earlier, something about being disconnected. In their mind, to admit, to go back, to do whatever, would be walking into a straitjacket, walking into control, excuse me, walking into somebody's trap. There's a little bit of high suspicion, anxiety, yeah, there's a fear. And I think I said that here. There's a fear. And to admit to the fear is to give in to the fear, which is interesting because that is low vibe, going back here with Leo energy or this strength energy. To give in to fear is to admit to fear, thank you, to admit to fear is to give in to it. That's low vibe. Okay? True moderate to high vibe is to acknowledge fear, is to conquer it. That is the high vibe of the strength card. When you stand in your strength, you stand up against your fear and you face your adversity. You face whatever plagues you, whatever frightens you. That's your chance to conquer it, right? But someone views it as, if I face my fear, admit my shortcomings, or admit I did something wrong, said something wrong, I then will be consumed by it. It's very interesting. So the answer, or rather the reason that this has come in the reverse, is that someone is resistant to this because they view it. Whatever they're hiding here, whatever exists in the depths, in the murky depths of this energy here, to admit to it, to face it, to say, yep, it's a factor, would walk into that in the upright. So it's in reverse. Is this, I resist that. I resist walking into that trap. I resist walking into that type of environment or that type of perception. People are not going to be able to perceive me as being weak, phony. If this is a matter of like a wrong move, like I keep getting the sense of like something official was submitted, a contract, a document, and there was a typo, and not just like one thing, but there were like errors within the document. And to say it was my fault would be to admit some type of incompetency, right? So that's a problem for somebody to admit that. And that makes sense. It's embarrassing, but you know, and maybe it would end someone's career, depending on how severe it is, it might end someone's career. But anyway, and the reason I did that and got excited was because of what's right there, the death card, because death represents endings. But I'm not sure if we're going there just yet, so let's see. What else happens for Gemini? Show me. Okay, so I think this is where the prominent energy is rocking. This illusioned, uncertain space, or this secrecy shit, and then also who rides the wave of that, or who is like, what's the face that's put out in front? The Son of Water, aka the Knight of Cups. Water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Could be dealing with a water sign, but you don't have to be. I think the face forward, or the action taken, is this charm, is this I'm just kidding, right? Or, it's like this downplaying of severity, right? This is a very optimistic energy most of the time. I feel in many of your cases, this is contained between one or two people or one or two sides. I don't get a multitude of energies here. I'm really getting a polarity. I'm really getting one versus the other, or us versus them type of shit. Okay? But one side, whether it's you or someone else, you know your story better than I do. One side is like downplaying the hell out of the moon card. People might have questions about, well, what's going on? What's the truth here? Or when you said that, did you mean this? And there's just like this total, so how about them Yankees? There, just there's like a side lining energy. The Son of Water, Knight of Cups, is not known to face fear, is not known for being one to face adversity. Challenges in love, like if this was a love relationship, which I don't think it is, for most of you, I don't think so. But if this was a challenge of, hey, do you have a crush on that person? Are you afraid to commit to this person? They might own that shit. But if we're talking something in a career space, if we're talking something in a family dynamic, if we're talking about, lawful practices or something to, oh my gosh, something to do with lawful ramifications, this is not the person to send in. The only skill this person has is charisma. Or not the only, but one of their primary skills is charisma, right? So the charm is turned on to deflect from the deflection. This is like a nesting doll of mist and fog. There's already something unknown. There's already something that's kind of wishy-washy, unclear. And then you get this person out there who's basically addressing whatever this issue with, or whatever this issue is, with more deflection, with more illusion, with more sidestepping of the core question at hand, right? And again, this could be all reactionary to some sense or some understanding or belief or perception of what is traditional, that beaten path, that rhyme and reason that has worked for decades or centuries or eons, that is just like, ugh. It's like, ugh, that's so like back then. That's like not even, ugh, that doesn't even, ugh. It's like, a lot of this is just possibly countermeasure or counterpoints for the sake of being, in opposition. This is this energy is an interesting player, because I do feel it is a person. I don't think it's like a collective energy. Well, I guess it could be, again, if we're talking about like a court system or something like that. But I feel if it is an individual, this person is actually kind of like soft-chinned. Like if this is someone who's meant to like go out and like rally the troops or get people stirred up and get people like behind their cause, or to make a strong argument and make them seem like a really formidable player, they're not. A lot of bluster, a lot of very choice words, or has a good, this, to use a political word just for a second, this person would be like a master at filibuster. Could talk for hours about nothing. Okay? And that's a skill. But as far as getting a job done, as far as making a point, as far as bringing clarity to a situation, hell no. That person is not going to do that. And let me tell you, if you really got them and pressed them in the corner, they would tell on themselves. They would eventually tell on themselves. Sir or madam, is your job here to sidestep the issue? Or did you come out here just to spin a bunch of yarn and tell us some bullshit? Yeah, I kind of did. Yeah, I kind of did. They wouldn't say it so plainly, but they would give you a long, drawn-out response that eventually, once you discerned what they said, read between the lines of what they said, they absolutely just admitted that they didn't come out to speak to you, or they didn't come out with their behavior or their choices to do anything constructive. Unless we're talking about love offers, unless we're talking about being open with emotions and trying to facilitate something in the realm of affection, this is not the person. Everything we talked about up until this point has been hard hitting. This is not the person to do that. Whether it's you or somebody else, I don't know. Final card in your main spread. Pick it up! Is the Death card. Major Arcana for Scorpio. Could be dealing with a Scorpio, but you don't have to be. So, eventually, Gemini, this situation is calling for and is going to be rectified by a certain ending. I don't, I'm not predicting mortal death. So if you're new to tarot or if you're being struck with that image of a skull, I don't think it has anything to do with actual mortal death, but an ending, absolutely. Something that was is no longer going to be. Period. Paragraph, as my mother would say. Okay? The bigger part or the important thing to know about the Death card when you see it in tarot, it's mostly talking about transformation. It's mostly talking about transitions and transmutation, right? It's saying that something ends and then it goes and becomes something else, right? In terms of if this is about, again, court cases or areas of profession and career, this could be, somebody eventually gets fired, or somebody is eventually replaced, or eventually quits, walks off, doesn't show up to work for one day and they never show up again. They clock out, I'll see you guys tomorrow, they never come back. Whatever form it's going to take. But there is a finality to this. This is not going to go on forever. It's gone on a long time. It's been contentious. It's been confusing. It's been a hell of a shit show. But let me tell you, it will come to an end. And that ending is as much as it's an ending, it's a simultaneous new beginning for everybody involved. However many people there are. If it's 2 people, you both go your separate ways, or you go in that direction and they go that direction, or whatever. If it's 15 people, 15 different directions, or 10 different directions, whatever. But there is just this release from this bucket of crap, this bucket of mind games to a certain extent, this bucket of not actually strongly held principles. Because again, this was low vibe. That Strength card was pretty low vibe. And the Hierophant was also a little low vibe because it kind of was standing on the strength of, well, it is what it is, which I hate as a phrase. Ugh. But, it is what it is, and this is how it's always been, and that's the way it should be. Like, that's a weak argument. And I don't care what you're talking about. That's the way it's always been. That's not always the strongest argument or the argument that is going to make the case, right? So they both have been weak, have been low vibe, okay? That's going to go away. Period. Paragraph. Again, as my mother would say. Anything else with death? It might be spurred on, no offense to anybody, and I'm not trying to alarm anybody, but it might be spurred on by a certain illness. Because we did talk earlier, at least I used the word diagnosis. And again, I'm not sensing that someone will die. No, I don't usually make those claims, and I don't think any tarot reader really would unless it was a personal. But anyway, I do get the sense of like an illness. An illness comes in all kinds of forms, right? Short-term, long-term, terminal, non-terminal, whatever. But I get the sense that someone turning ill or admitting to illness is going to allow this to finally be released or transmute or transform in some type of way. Okay? Outcome. Jeez, I forgot. There's another major over here. Another major arcana, Temperance. Major arcana for Scorpio. Sagittarius. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius, but you don't have to be. So, I guess it kind of works because of the imagery that we saw earlier on the Hierophant. But this gave me being reborn, baptismal, right? This guy's not performing a baptismal. I don't think he was recently baptized, but I am getting the sense of being reborn again, okay? Or born again is how they say it, born again. So for some of you that might play, there might be some ceremonial or significant recommitment to your faith or to someone's faith. It doesn't have to be Christianity or anything like that. But more to the point is cleansing. More to the point is coming clean, washing out your dirty laundry. You get what I mean? And there also tends to be this trial by fire element sometimes with temperance, in that, again, kind of similar to what I was just saying about being baptized. You admit your sins and then you're absolved by them because you're born again into Christ's love, or whatever they say. I'm not religious, so I apologize if I'm butchering or offending anybody. But that's basically the name of the game. You recommit your life to Jesus Christ when you're baptized, right? You recommit your life to being cleaner. Not totally free from sin, I believe, but cleaner than what you were before. I was a horrible this, that, and the other before. Dipped my head in this water, ba-bow. Now I'm a little less dirty. Something like that. So it all's going to come, and I said that before, coming up here. Whatever is done in the dark will come to light. This is the revelation of what was done in the dark. And it's a trial by fire, because someone is not going to enjoy this experience. Or rather, I should say, the people who are resistant, the people who are low vibe, the people who are not aware of themselves, who are not taking accountability, whether it's you or someone else, Gemini, they're not going to enjoy that experience. They're not going to be receptive to it either. It might happen to them. Someone, like I said, someone walks off the job, and then months down the line after an audit, you found out that person was swindling the company for money, or that they were putting in false claims and, doing things erroneously. And that might have ramifications for people at the company. But if this person walks off the face of the earth and you can't find them to reprimand them, what can you do? So it's not going to be the most pleasant experience, but it's going to happen. Overall energy, 4 of Earth, aka 4 of Pentacles. Stability. That has been, okay, so the roots. You see the roots of the tree going back here with the Hierophant, and then the Strength card sort of being in defiance or being in this argument, this vying for position, or this conversation, it's combativeness or something. Whatever this was, because of roots, because of stability, because of foundations. It could be two people vying for control as head of household in terms of like, taking over, going over the, I don't want to say that, but maybe it applies. Like maybe going over the will of a lost relative, of a recently passed relative, and 2 people are saying, well, I should be in charge of this, well, I should be in charge of this, but the documents, this person, well, the documents are in my favor, but I'm going to take it to court and I'm going to argue that you shouldn't be in charge because of XYZ. And it's just like this strange tug of war that goes back to the stability, the foundational structure of a situation, of a dynamic of people, family, friends, business partners, in some cases maybe just spouse to spouse, okay? And then 4 of Pentacles or 4 of Earth traditionally talks about and withholding, not wanting to give of resources, not wanting to lose what you have. So this has been a story about survival, or a story about maintaining your place in the world. But it's kind of, if I'm honest, it's been low vibe all over the place. Nobody here I shouldn't say nobody, but there's a strong sense that one side or the other, or to certain degrees both sides, have dipped a toe, dipped a foot up to the ankle or the knee in the pond of low vibeness. Just saying, okay? Gemini, that is your reading for August. If you liked what you saw here today, please hit the like button. If you want to leave a comment, let me know how this resonated in your life. What the hell's going on here? Feel free to share it down below. If you want to share the video or subscribe to the channel, please do so. And I'll love you forever, or something like that. I'm messing, but it would be appreciated, any and all interactions with the channel. Again, if you want a personal reading, that information is down in the description box. Go ahead and hit me up. And again, guys, I'll be going live on the channel on the 8th if you want to hang out with me at 7 p.m. Just to see what I'm going to be doing for Leo's birthday season. If you want to, you don't have to. No pressure, okay? All right, Gemini, I appreciate you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Take care.